With the midterm elections coming up in just under a week, we spoke to UVA's Larry Sabato of the Center of Politics to figure out more about the nail-biting elections and what we can expect from them. In your most recent publishing, you moved the position of Virginia's 5th District from leans Republican to toss-up. Can you explain why you did this?
The 5th here in Virginia, covering Charlottesville, has become very, very close, meaning either candidate could win this with a couple thousand votes one way or the other, which is nothing in a congressional district.
The most recent New York Times poll shows that 46 versus 45 are in favor of Leslie Coburn, with a 10% undecided. What do you think is going to sway the 10%?
Well, first of all, keep in mind there's a margin of error. Leslie Coburn is not ahead in that poll. The 10% may not vote. Often people who say they're undecided are really covering for the fact that they have not followed the election and will not show up on Election Day or before Election Day to vote early.
Many top Republicans are concerned about the 11th hour developments of the Pittsburgh anti-Semitic mass shooting and the Democrat-targeted mail bombs. Should they be concerned about this?
Yes, they should. I've seen enough of the private tracking polls to know that that has had a positive effect for some Democratic candidates. But you see, the election's Tuesday. Now, 40% of Americans will have voted before Tuesday. But for the 60% left, they're disproportionately older voters who like Trump and are Republican.
Right now, everything we read and see tells us that the House is probably going to sway blue, maybe even significantly, but the Senate is going to remain red, perhaps even gaining 1 or 2 seats. How can you explain this complete opposite movement of the two?
Under our Constitution, we only elect a third of the senators every 2 years. It just so happens, it's really happenstance, that this third of Senate seats is overwhelmingly Republican, at least the rural states, and because the last 2 elections for this Senate class were 2006, a big Democratic year, and 2012, a big Democratic year, you have lots of Democrats representing red Republican states. Well, not after November 6th.
So the House goes blue,
Well,
perhaps?
It should. We're probably going to project that, though I don't want to speak for my House editor. I'm leaning to doing that, but I'm going to watch last-minute trends very carefully. We should have done that, along with our entire industry across the country, in 2016.
And do you believe that if the Democrats win the House, they will impeach Trump?
I don't think they'll be that foolish. Here's why I say it's foolish. Why would you undertake something that will be highly controversial when you know for certain you will fail? The Democratic House could impeach him. It means nothing. It goes to the Senate. You need 67 votes in the Senate to oust a president. There's 0.0000 chance that 16 Republican senators or thereabouts will vote to oust Donald Trump because they would be out of their seats instantly.
And what about young voter turnout? How important is that in this election?
Well, it's always important. I don't want to put the burden on just young people, but they alone made the difference in 2016. Their turnout was so much lower than it had been for Obama. Had they turned up at anything approaching the rate of 2008, for example, Hillary Clinton would be president today.
It's clearly going to be a very close election. We're certainly keeping our eye on the polls. Be sure to go out and vote.